Okay, so let's jump into the system. Let's go over all the components so you can see what we're testing today. What we have is our new HELIX gas regulating barrel system. And what we've done is we've put an adjustment knob on the barrel itself. What we have here is an adjustment knob threaded onto the barrel and an adjustment rod that goes in and restricts the gas. All right, so let's just do a high-level overview of how this system functions. So you have your gas block here. We have an adjustment rod. We have a compressible spring, a transfer plate, and the control knob. Now the control knob is internally threaded. What you can't see here is that the barrel is externally threaded. So this control knob will move along that thread. When it does that, it will press on this transfer plate and it will compress that spring. Now to prevent the transfer plate from rotating with the knob itself, we've machined a flat spot right here on the barrel. And internally, this transfer plate has a corresponding flat spot, so it will not rotate as this knob turns. For the duty guys out there, we do have the ability to lock the system in place. What you can do is you can take the included set screw, and it would go through your handguard, and you can lock the transfer plate here. But that completely prevents movement either way of the control knob. And so it completely prevents any movement of your adjustment knob and any changing of your gas setting. And once you remove that, you can see it moves again freely. So you turn this knob, you compress the transfer plate into the spring, and what you're doing, because your adjustment rod is attached to the transfer plate, is you are pushing that adjustment rod into your gas block. And you can see here at the cutaway what that does. As the adjustment rod goes further into the gas block, you are restricting that gas port and you're preventing gas from going back into the system. So you can completely close it like this, or you can turn the control knob away and you can open it up. So depending on your setup, the ammunition, your rate of fire, whether you're running suppressed or unsuppressed, whether you have a flow-through can or a high back pressure can, you can totally tune this to your particular setup. Okay, so that's the whole system. Now let's take it out, torture test it, and see how it performs. We're doing an accelerated failure test today with full auto. Specifically, we're looking at the adjustment rod, we're looking at the wave spring, we're looking at the adjustment knob or control knob, and we're looking at the detents. We want to see if there's any failure at any point during this full auto test. Through our testing, we have about 700 rounds in, about 600 degrees on the rifle. It is very hot, and in terms of looking for failures, none so far. So it all looks good. The adjustment rod is still moving freely. The control knob, although it's exceptionally hot, we're able to rotate it along the detents, no issues there. So we're going to continue the test. We're going to keep shooting and see if we can get it to fail. Test 1,500 rounds, no failures. At this point, we feel like it's a waste of ammo to continue, and we'll do a breakdown back at the shop of all the components. So we're back from the range. We're going to break this down. We're going to examine all the components, see where there's wear, carbon buildup. We're going to really take a look at it and see how it performed. Thankfully, we had no failures, 1,500 rounds. We really beat this up, so I'm really excited to see what it looks like when it's disassembled. Okay, so we have all the components, and what are we looking at? So first we have the control knob, and what's important here, we also have our transfer plate and we have those detents. So you could hear earlier that the control knob was rotating freely along those detents, and it was able to unthread from the barrel very easily. So that's important because even though the system is very dirty, there was no seizing, and it still functioned properly. So that's very important. What else are we looking for? We're looking at the spring. We're making sure it's still compressible, and it is. So that spring has not fatigued. It's very important. That'll function for a very long time. This is, of course, a high temp spring. We selected it because of that property. And also, another important thing is the adjustment rod here. So very dirty as expected. And the question is, how much erosion did that adjustment rod see through this operation? And it did experience erosion. That is expected. You can see it more easily when you compare it here to the clean one. You can see that it started off as a square, and now it has that divot slightly. That's where it was getting blasted by the gas. And that's fine. That's expected. There should be erosion. The question is how much. And for the level of torture tests that we put this through, we're actually very pleased with the amount of erosion that we see here. It didn't cause the system to fail, so that's great. And really that's because of the material choice that we made on this adjustment rod. So we chose M42 cobalt steel. That's a very high temp steel. It's made for this, so it performed really well and we're really pleased. And actually, I think it would be great to look at this under the microscope and see it more closely. Okay, so here we are with our industrial microscope. We use this pretty often for inspection, and you can see exactly how that rod eroded. You can see that arch there, and then we also have the original one for comparison purposes. So that's how it started. Very clean, straight edge. And then this is how it eroded. So this is how the gas was blasting on it and carving that arc into it. Okay, so that's a wrap. We're really pleased with the testing and how it performed. We're going to get this on the website. It'll be available first in our custom rifle builder and custom upper builder, so you can build out a rifle or upper with this system. We have 6mm arc, 223 Wild, and 300 blackout. So lots of barrel lengths, different configurations, rifle, pistol, SBR. This will be available in all of them. So we're very excited about that. And eventually, hopefully, towards the end of the year, we'll have this available as an individual barrel where you can buy it with our DTL system and our handguard, or you can buy it with a mil-spec extension and install it on a different rifle of your choosing. If you get it with our handguard, it'll have our markings. So you can see here that we have an open and close marking, and then we have a lock-unlock marking where you would lock your adjustment and your gas setting. So we're really excited to make this available to you guys. Let us know what you think of the system, and ask any questions, like and subscribe.